The behavioral half of tax reserves is what breaks for most coaches, not the math. Module 15.3 already gave you the effective rate. Module 6.4 already opened the reserve account. What this unit installs is the muscle memory between those two. The per deposit transfer that runs the moment money lands, the never touch it discipline that keeps the reserve from being treated as a buffer, and the quarterly reconciliation that catches a wrong rate before it becomes an underpayment penalty. The math is grade school arithmetic. The doing of it consistently across 12 months of variable revenue is the unit. Two ways to run a tax reserve, and one of them is correct. The sweep model says revenue accumulates in your operating account through the month, and on a chosen day you transfer a percentage to the reserve. The per deposit model says every payment that lands triggers an immediate same-day transfer of your effective rate percentage. Per deposit wins because it eliminates timing risk. The money cannot be spent on something else if it leaves the operating account before any expense can compete for it. The sweep model assumes you will remember a date and that the balance will still be there. One of those assumptions usually fails. The sweep model fails predictably and in the same shape every time. A large expense hits before sweep day, quarterly software billing, an estimated payment, a contractor invoice. Operating balance is now lower than expected. Sweep day arrives. You transfer a smaller percentage than the math called for, and you tell yourself you'll catch up next month. The gap shows up at quarter end when the estimated payment is due and the reserve is short by $1,200. You cover it from operating, pay on time, no penalty. But you have just used operating cash that was earmarked for next month's expenses, and the cascade has started. The per deposit mechanic is as simple as it sounds. A Stripe payout lands in business checking on a Tuesday. Same Tuesday, your effective rate percentage moves to the tax reserve savings account. X is not 30% because that's a clean number. X is your actual computed rate from module 15.3, sometimes 22, sometimes 29, sometimes 34, depending on your filing status and deduction posture. Every dollar of revenue funds its own tax obligation at the moment it arrives, before rent or software or anyone's invoice gets a vote on whether the tax money is still there. The right implementation removes you from the loop. Most modern business banks support automation rules. Income and deposit triggers a percentage-based transfer to a linked savings account. Runs without you, no monthly action required. Mercury supports it. Relay supports it. Bluevine supports it. Your existing bank's rules engine may be hidden under a menu called Payment Automation or Recurring Transfers. Check before assuming it can't. If your bank genuinely doesn't support percentage triggers, fall back to a recurring calendar reminder on your Stripe or PayPal payout day, with the per deposit transfer done manually. Calendar reminders work. Willpower does not. The never touch it rule has one exception and 0 loopholes. The reserve has exactly one exit. Estimated tax payments in March, June, September, January, and the April balance due. Not emergency cash. Not a buffer for a slow month. Not the place you pull from to make payroll for one cycle. If touching the reserve is tempting, the signal is upstream. Your operating reserve from 16.3 is underfunded, and the fix is funding that reserve, not breaking this discipline. The tax reserve is a one-way valve. Money goes in at every deposit and comes out only when the IRS asks. Composite from a coach I worked with last year. 3 strong months in a row, end-of-month sweep model, full reserve. Slow month hits, January, The post-holiday quiet that nobody warned her about. She borrows $2,200 from the reserve to cover operating expenses, pays back $1,500 the following month. The borrowing felt like a clever bridge at the time. The math said the money would come back the next month, and most of it did. The structural problem was invisible until quarter end. What it cost her arrived at quarter end in March. The estimated payment was $2,400 and the reserve had $2,200 in it. She covered the gap from operating, paid the IRS on time, paid no penalty. The dollar cost of the whole episode was zero. Every dollar she had borrowed eventually came back. The habit cost was that she had just spent 3 weeks of anxiety teaching herself the reserve was reachable, and the implicit zero-interest loan from a fund supposed to be untouchable had broken the discipline she'd built. The discipline is binary. The account is either untouchable or it is not. Quarterly reconciliation is the feedback loop the system runs on. 4 times a year, March, June, September, January, at the estimated payment date, compare what is in the reserve against what the calculator says you owe. Over means your effective rate is slightly high or revenue was lighter than projected. The surplus stays as next quarter's partial funding. Under means the effective rate is wrong and recompute is the only response. Recompute through module 15.3 with year-to-date numbers and raise the transfer percentage immediately. The reconciliation is what catches an undersized rate before 3 more quarters compound the gap into an underpayment penalty. If you have a tax reserve from module 6.4 already, check the date of your last transfer into it. If that date was not the day of your last deposit, you're on the sweep model whether you call it that or not. Switch today. Set the automation rule if your bank supports it, or set the recurring calendar reminder if it doesn't. And make the catch-up transfer from current operating balance to bring the reserve up to where it should be. If you don't yet have a reserve at all, the sequence is reversed. Compute the rate, open the account, transfer the catch-up amount, then turn on the per deposit mechanism going forward. By end of today, the discipline is either running or scheduled to run.